Welcome to Full Scope, a podcast designed to analyze the games that we love, the headlines of music, and the movies we can't forget. I'm your host, Wenza Burns. My counterpart, Savon Morris, was not able to be on for this one, but I'm joined by a special guest, Jamil Davis, once again, longtime friend of the show, longtime friend of mine, one of the hip hop experts that I always got to talk to whenever really dope albums drop. Thanks for being on, man.
Man, I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity, and as always, it's a great time. It's a great time over at Full Scope, with the team. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm hyped. Let's get to it.
Absolutely. And we have, for this episode, we have a lot of album reviews to discuss. And in the second half, we're going to do a review of Father's Day, a Kirk Franklin's story, the new documentary that came out. To start off with Nas' Magic 3 album, this was the last one he announced that him and Hit Boy were doing. 6 albums in 3 years. It's really crazy, like the run that they've been on. The fact that Nas in his just turned 50 is able to rap at this level. The pen is just is still extremely sharp. And it's interesting because after Magic 2, because Magic 2 got some mixed reception. Some people were like, oh, I don't know if I like it as much. But I think them coming back so quick with Magic 3 and people just unanimously liking this was a great send off. What did you think about this project and just also just what they've been able to do these last 3 years?
Six albums, 6 albums in 3 years.
Oh, man.
Like at some point, you have to recognize Nas as one of, if not the of greatest MC of all time, and most consistent.
Consistent. Yeah.
It's like you can't do 6 albums. Like, bro, like consistency can't occur with you doing 6 albums in 3 years. The most remarkable, literally the most remarkable run that I've ever seen from an artist.
Yeah.
And from an artist producer combination. Like to consistently use the same producer and have one, maybe 2 albums that you would be like,
Yeah,
y'all could have did better. Y'all could have did better with the beats.
Yeah, there was one or two that were just like okay. But for
Yeah,
the most part, bro, everything was just like exceptional. Like I'm just gonna be honest, like there were some tracks on here like Blue Bentley, the track the track he did with Wayne.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of based off true events, Japanese soul bar. Bro, there's so many beats on here. I'm like Nip, like Hit Boy was just in such a pocket, bro. Like I can't even. These were songs I just even this morning I had to keep replaying because this was just otherworldly type of production.
yeah. Like, bro, literally made his own. Nas literally made his own birthday song with Fever. Like you know what I'm saying. I wish 50 for everyone else. Like that's a whole bar in affirmation in itself. Like
Yeah,
I wish long life for other people. I wish long life for other people. Like that's just like one of the greatest things to like say on a rap album. Like, and for number one, for him to drop it on his birthday was
major
was Chef's kiss in and of itself. And I think he dropped it literally right as he was having his birthday party.
Yeah,
And
everybody
um,
everybody showed up to that, man.
literally
Kendrick was there.
the whole block was there. I was like, this listen, and and then to top it all off, um, dropping a new album, and then a few weeks later, heading right out on the second run of the New York State of Mind tour with Wu Tang.
Yeah,
And this year's special guest is De La Soul. And rest in peace to Dave, True or the Dove.
yes,
But they found a very decent replacement for True or the Dove for this tour in Talib Kweli.
oof,
Yeah, like Kweli comes out and does Dave's verses on some of
man.
the songs, and then they actually let him do like 1 or 2 songs as well. It's a remarkable thing. Like it really is a remarkable thing. But more so this album, bro. Never Die with Lil Wayne. It's a standout track on this album. Lil Wayne has the standout verse on this album.
He's got
Um,
Wayne really carries the title of like, how is he still doing this at this point of his career? And he's dropping a mixtape this Friday. Like, he really is that guy that, man. I mean, obviously, growing up, Wayne was like that guy who was dropping mixtapes every week, and he would
yeah.
he was put out music consistently, and he wouldn't stop. But like even today, Wayne is still that guy. He's
Hmm.
for a feature he's not going to mail it in because some artists they'll mail it in. Wayne is never going to mail it in. Like he's going
Nope.
to do his best.
And people, and I've seen people on social media be like, ah, you know, saying the verse was okay, but he really wasn't saying anything. No, like you have to literally go back and
Yeah,
really listen to. It was like bar after bar after bar after bar after bar. I was like Wayne, like, and I felt like Wayne was just like, yo, I'm on a song with Nas on Nas's last album with Hit Boy, and they gave me this beat.
come on now.
No, like
The
because
sample, the sample. That's
it actually is like one of the best beats on the entire album,
yeah.
and um, so I love that song. I love Pretty Young Girl. Um, Blue Bentley was another one, as well as Japanese. So like I'm very impressed with if this is how you end the
This
if
is the
this is
way
how
to
you
do it.
end the Nas Hit Boy saga, this is how you end the Nas Hit Boy saga. Like legit,
Yeah,
and shouts out to the block.
yeah.
They did their numbers on this one. So yeah.
And I know we were mentioning this a couple of days ago. Me personally, Magic, the first Magic and King's Disease 2 are like for my favorites overall from this run from them. Do you have like a particular favorite that you're like, yo, that's the project from them I just keep going back to?
KD2 is the jam. KD2 is the jam. KD2 always gonna be the jam for me. And the first Magic literally comes in second, but KD2 is the jam. Like
Yeah, man.
everything about everything about the headspace I was in when KD2 came out, I was just like, you know, first time was my jam. Nobody is the like, and he always seems to manage to get people who's gonna come in with spectacular guest verses
Yes.
at the right moment in their life. And
That's so
Lauren
tough,
Hill coming in with that verse on Nobody,
man.
like set it off for me. I think honestly KD2 is out of the six album saga, KD2 is the jam.
For
KD2 is
sure.
the one.
For sure.
So
It definitely is. And before we move on, I just gotta say, man, I need a Nas and Alchemist album before he heads out. That's the next producer I need him to link up with. I know it's there. I know it's there. I know they're talking, but it's just that's the one I need to see next.
like they can do it. I We need the inevitable Nas DJ Premier album,
Oh yeah, for sure.
but
They
we
gotta have that.
absolutely positively need a Nas Alchemist album and a Nas Alchemist album in the same vein that Alchemist would give to like a Benny the Butcher
Yeah,
or to like a Benny the Butcher or a Conway, because they've done full albums together.
yeah,
So like some Griselda type of flavor, or even the type of flavor that he would give to Freddie Gibbs. Like I feel like
that's a
I feel
pocket.
like
That's a pocket right
this
there.
so like I feel like Nas can do it. I feel like at this point, Nas is just I feel like at this point Nas is just showing off. Like he
He
really just showing
is. He's
off
just
right
flexing.
now.
He's just
It's just
flexing at this point.
like I can
Yeah,
just come in and consistently give you great verses over over this awesome production. Because
yeah.
I kept saying for the longest, I
I
don't know
have
how to
bad
choose
beats.
beats.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
bad beats. That was the knock on him. That was the knock on Nas. That was it. But
that
outside
was
of
it.
that, bro,
Like
lyrically,
I don't know how to choose quality production. So I just showed you with one producer.
yeah, he's not missing.
That's it.
He's not
Yeah.
missing. And now getting into our next review with Diddy's The Love album, Off the Grid. In this new project, there's a lot of imaginative production in Diddy. shows that he's always going to have a good ear for the genre. Jasmine Sullivan, Jazzy, Sway Lee, and many others have really good performances as well. And when Diddy made the statements earlier in the year about R&B is dead, I feel as though he was planning something. He was coming with something because he knew he had these songs in the tuck, and I'm like, bro, this is some amazing music, bro. Like this is
Yeah,
one of the best R&B albums I've heard in a while. Diddy, you can say whatever you want about Diddy in terms of his personality and his certain quirks that he has, but he knows how to put a project together. I think this is going to be an album that's hard to top for a lot of R&B artists going forward because Diddy
yeah.
just Diddy knows what to do, and he assembled the Avengers for this. But what were some of your thoughts on this and takeaways?
A lot of people that I've seen on social media said this is gonna be the Toxic Boys R&B album for the rest of the year.
Like we
Um,
got this on lock. This is our.
like the toxic cats are in the building with the
We've been
toxic
waiting.
cats are in the
We've been
building with
waiting.
this. And they absolutely right with this. Like, um, it's just no. Like I wasn't expecting this album to be this good, but it really is a good album.
Yeah.
Like the Mary joint the Mary joint is ridiculous, but what else do you expect from Mary J. Blige
At this
and Puff
point,
Daddy?
yeah. Come on. At this
Like
point, yeah.
that's cruise control. But the Jazzy joint is nice.
Yeah.
I really did like the jazz. I really did like the
Jasmine.
Jasmine Sullivan joint. Um,
Yo,
I also like how he took a lot of samples from stuff that he already used,
mhm.
like back in the '90s, and reimagined the sample for for these newer tracks, or brought in things that reminded you of
Pass.
tracks that he had
Yeah.
done before, tracks that he had done before, tracks that some of his artists had done before.
Yeah.
Um, is a lot of it was a lot of slick Biggie references
Ooh, yeah.
in this album too, and so yeah, like we all make jokes about the fact that Diddy don't really make beats like that. So how can Diddy call himself a producer? Diddy's a producer, and I tell people this all the time, even though I make the jokes myself. Diddy's a producer in the vein of a Quincy Jones
Exactly.
or a Rod Temperton. Like I bring the people in
Hmm.
that I know can create the magic that I hear in my head,
Mm,
and that's Diddy as far as a producer is concerned,
yeah.
and he showed that
Oh, for
on
sure.
this album. He absolutely showed that on this album. So yeah, top notch album from beginning, top notch album from beginning to end. Like
Man,
it's just
it really was, and that's the thing. Like, do you feel as though this also was like a reminder album? Because I feel like some people don't know. It's been like a while since Diddy has dropped an album. I think like 13 years. So some people just forgot. Diddy, like he's still that guy in terms of like you know finding the right pocket for artists. Like what impressed you the most about? Because like sometimes like DJ Khaled, DJ Khaled about like bringing artists together but not really knowing the right songs to put them on. Like do you feel as though like that's an experience thing with Diddy, or just the fact that he's got these really great connections? Because you can have great connections, but knowing how to use them is really what separates the greats from the average.
oh no, that's absolutely the case with Diddy. From the moment he decides, oh, I want to be an artist myself,
Yeah.
and does No Way Out, he knew this is the move that I want to make. As far as this album is concerned, this
Hmm.
album is supposed to be another entrance into the the New York rap lexicon. With this album,
Yeah.
with the Love album, it is on a mainstream level. I feel like people aren't really recognizing. I feel like people aren't really recognizing R&B like they should
Hmm.
on a mainstream level, and we should get back to the type of R&B that we were making within the '90s. So let me um, let me make sure that I put my stake in if I'm going to complain about the fact that R&B isn't where it needs to be on a mainstream level. Because like especially with the people that he had on this album, he can't Diddy can't legitimately say that R&B isn't where it's supposed to be with the artist that he had
Yeah,
on this album.
exactly.
Because it's like, okay, Diddy, how you gonna
That's
tell
a
us R&B
contradiction.
ain't where,
That's the
how you
contradiction
gonna
right
tell us R&B ain't where it need to be, and you had Mozzie on the album, bro.
there. Exactly.
Like, how you gonna tell us R&B ain't where it need to be, and
Summer Walker.
you had Summer Walker on the album, bro.
You
Like,
had Summer Walker.
you had Summer Walker, and Summer Walker literally makes 90s type R&B
Yeah,
with a new feel to it. You
exactly.
had Jazzy, you had Tiana Taylor on the
Come
album,
on, come on,
but
now. Come on.
R&B ain't where it need to be. Come on, sir, get out. You had her on that.
Yeah, you had her.
It's like I'm just at this point. At this point, you just trolling now because you knew you had these songs in the bucket,
Yeah.
and I feel like there's like more artists that he really wanted to have. Because there was there was songs on the album where you could have easily put an Alex Isley
Oh
on
yeah,
on
yeah.
the album. You could have easily put a bit of Victoria Monet on the album.
She's dope.
Like just just those type of things. But I think this isn't the last time that we get to experience Diddy in his R&B bag
Right.
in this particular era. I think there's more to come, and I'm kind of anxious to see where he gonna take us. So
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see because this is probably gonna be the start of something of more projects he's gonna want to put out in the next couple of years. And I think, like you said, it's gonna. There's other artists, Alex Isleys of the world. Victoria Monet is such a great songwriter.
hmm
What she can, she's so underrated, but everybody knows her by now. But she's still in some aspects is underrated. And I think that would be a great combination. So yeah, that'll be really interesting to see. Now getting to our next review with Cleo Sol's Heaven. In her new project, there's a lot of tracks about maturity and life lessons. There's personal and communal healing as her voice is just integral to popular music and can carry a song to just amazing heights. And me and Savon, we reviewed her last album, Mother, and we're really blown away by it. And I feel as though she's one of those artists that is refreshing to hear because she has like maturity in her music, but also has great range, great voice. She said she's going to be putting out another album soon called Gold. So she's really doubling up on the releases. But what did you think about this project? Because Mother did set a high bar for me. It wasn't as good to me as Mother was, but I still think this was quality R&B, and she's going to be around for a long time.
this was actually my introduction to Cleo Soul,
Oh
and
wow, okay,
yeah, like this was my first time actually hearing like a full length deal from Cleo Soul, and I get to the ninth song on the album, and it's done, and I'm just like, oh, that's it. Like, yeah, like I wanted more.
yeah,
I wanted more from her. Like the album itself is remarkable.
yeah,
Like there as far as the albums, as far as the albums that we're doing reviews on, there's not a bad album that came out as far as the albums that we're doing reviews on right
mm,
now.
mm,
And I have to go back and listen to Mother to see to see the dichotomy between the two. But this one did it for me. Heaven is actually my favorite song on the whole album.
yes. Heaven is
Um,
incredible. That's an
yeah,
incredible.
Followed by Golden Child, but Heaven is my joint, and I because I remember listening to it the for the first time when the list of albums we were reviewing was sent to me, and I was stuck. Like I was stuck on Heaven for I was stuck on Heaven for a minute. I was like, I know I gotta listen to the rest of this album to give a proper review. But I'm stuck right here. Like
Yeah, it's
this
one of
is it. For me.
those. It's one of those,
Um, but yeah, like remarkable album. I had always been hearing a lot about Cleo Soul
man.
from people because um the type of R&B that I'm listening to now, I'm really stuck in the Alex Isley pocket. I'm stuck in the Lucky Day pocket. I'm
Yes,
stuck in the Masego pocket.
for sure.
So with all of that, people was always telling me, bro, like you gotta listen to Cleo Soul, like she like bad. I was like,
Be different.
it's like all right, like
I'll get to
it's
it.
a whole other thing. Yeah, like exactly. Cause it's like I'm
Because
like it's a
there's
whole
so
other
much
thing.
music. There's so much music. Like sometimes I'm really like, yo, just give me some time.
Yeah.
I'll get to it because it's almost over. Last Friday was really overwhelming because we really had a Nas and Diddy album drop on the same night. It's just like which one?
Oh. like
Yeah,
like what y'all want me to do, bro? Like
yeah,
the two giants
yeah.
just drop some heat. So
Sure.
but no, yeah, Cleo Soul, this Heaven album is top notch.
It's up there.
And if she dropping another one, like
And I'm thinking that one might really be the one. If she's dropping that one like this soon,
mm-hmm.
I just get a certain feeling when artists, like we said with Magic 3, how soon they drop Magic 3. I feel as though they're like, this is the one I really wanted to put out, but I had to put out this other one because of contract obligations. But I feel as
Yeah.
though the next project, Gold, really might be the one. So
But
I'm excited.
because even with that, like when Nas was like Magic 3 out on my birthday at 9 p.m., I was like, oh, he got something. I was like, I don't know what it is,
We got some.
but he was upset with how people how
He's
people was
like,
talking about
man,
Magic 3.
y'all
He
talking
was like,
down on my
what?
name. Y'all talking down on my name.
He's like, let me make sure y'all know who I am. Let me
Yeah,
remind y'all right quick.
for sure.
And
Definitely.
that was it. So no, like I like the space that we're in now when it comes to albums that have been released this year. Um so far ain't nobody topping Killer Mike. Like that's still my album. That's still my album of the year right now. Mike is still Michael is still the album of Mike. It's still my album of the year.
That album meant something. That album meant a lot. Yeah,
It really did.
that was a substantive type of album, man.
It really did. And knowing knowing the place, literally and figuratively, that Killer Mike is from and the headspace that he's in, um, as an artist and as a person, I I understand that album. I understand that album a lot better than a lot of things that have come out this year. But Magic 3 for me ain't that far behind. And um there's been some other incredible projects to come through
I'm trying to think of
this year
what
as well.
yes, I'm trying to think of what else has dropped that's been like really like. 'Cause Black Thought dropped an album that I really liked.
Yeah.
Black Thought is just one of my favorites overall. I will say Tyler the Creator's Lost Sales Estate. It wasn't an album, but like the 6 songs he added on, I was like, yo, I can't wait to hear what Tyler's got next. Because to
Same.
me, I think he's just building and building on every
Same.
project, every release he's making.
And Larry Jones' album with Alchemist
Oh, that's the
was
one.
amazing.
That's the one. Yes, bro.
Larry
Yes.
Jones' album with Alchemist is amazing.
My
Larry Jones
goodness.
and the way that they rolled out the album, the
Love him.
visuals they gave us for the album,
Smooth.
just the behind the scenes bit, like all of it. Um, I I like how artists are now starting to utilize every area of content creation for album rollouts that they can give us.
Yeah.
Because Nas and Hit Boy since they've dropped Magic 3, they've been doing like these mini episodes on each other's IG pages around the making of Magic and also the making of the sixth album. I call it a saga, the sixth album saga.
Yeah.
Um,
I like when artists do that. I like when artists do that because I was earlier this morning. I was watching like the 23-minute mini documentary of when Jay Z was making the Black album, and I was like, man, I wish artists would do this again. Like, just show
yeah,
like you don't even have to do an interview. Just show us the studio process. You know what I mean? It's just like I think like we would that would really like show a lot and give a lot for the fans.
yeah, because nobody realizes nobody realizes the time and the intensity that goes into creating creating something of creating something of as much substance and much introspection as a reasonable doubt or as an illmatic
Hmm.
or or ready to die or life after death,
Yeah.
or even in the case of Larry June, the Great Escape, like that, like
Yes.
to see what goes into making these albums. um and for some artists, they want their albums to be respected as works of
Mhm.
art.
Oh yeah.
To see what goes into these pieces of art is just incredible and impeccable. And I think that's the, like, honestly, like you said, that's the better move than to just do like a bunch of interviews and stuff. Like, yo, like, just give me the process,
Yeah.
because in that, um especially when you're the type of artist that you have a team of people around you that's always in the studio. You're able to have conversations with these people, and the conversations that leads to certain songs are even better than just sometimes the song itself, or even better than just whatever interview you could have gave Oprah Winfrey, or
Breakfast Club.
like, yeah, whatever interview you could have gave Oprah Winfrey, or whatever interview you could have gave Barbara Walters, or whomever.
Yeah.
Like, just sitting there and just talking with your people,
Yeah.
um, and that matriculating into an actual song
That's so dope.
is what makes the situation even greater. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I go back to like clips of like when Marvin Gaye was recording "I Want You." He showed live footage of him. He was just chilling on the sofa singing, and the band was going crazy. I'm like, this is what we just want to see artists be at work. You know what I mean?
this all I want to see, because
Yeah.
it's incredible to watch the process
Yeah.
of, and even like you said, you went back and you watched the 23-minute documentary of the process of how the Black album
Yeah.
was, to watch the process of how these historic albums are made
It's different.
is it's better than anything else.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And now get into our next review with Drake and SZA's "Slime You Out." In this new single, the song focuses on expressing, frustration and anger towards someone who's, made mistakes, now seeking forgiveness and reconciliation. SZA has, another incredible vocal performance, and it's interesting because like this, me and Savon talk about single songs. Like, is this a single song? And this was felt more of like an album type of cut, one that fits more into the scheme of an album. And Drake has all tour. He said, I'm coming with the old Drake. I'm coming with the more melodic, and this sounded more so of like he's going into that realm. And I'm intrigued to see how this is going to fit into the album. And I really like this song a lot. But what did you think about this? And I mean, for all the dogs, it's been one of the most interesting rollouts Drake has had. He's on tour, and he's been saying this album's going to come out, and now it's coming out October 6th in Toronto. What do you think about this single, and also just the process of how this album could sound?
the song was okay. Um, Bro could have kept that one line. Like I said, one line. Everybody knows in the song, and I'm just like,
That's what
bro,
he
like,
does. He's the king of that, though, bro. Like he's the king.
I was like, brother, like, you could have kept that line. Like if it's one line in life, brother, you could have kept you could have kept beating you like American slaves. Like, you could like that's the line you could have kept, my God. Like, because I like for real. Like I had to rewind it. I was like,
Yeah,
wait a minute. Like, let me make sure. Let me make sure. Let me make sure that we good on this.
yeah,
But so I understand. I understand the space that the both of them were coming from with this song because you got SZA coming off of her album,
yes. That's
and
what.
most of and she let us know that most of that album was about bro,
Yeah, she did.
because of the fact that they used to date each other, and so I feel like,
Wait. Hold up. Most of that was about him.
well, that's what she said in the interview. She said most of that album was about Drake because of the fact that they used to date each other. And so that's the I feel like for this song, that was the whole dichotomy. It was like, yo, like let me give you this, let me give you this quick response. Like I let you breathe. It's like I let you breathe, I let you live. Let me give you this response, and then and then we can move on, and then we can move on and be cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you live with the album because the album was nice, but but let me give you this, and we can keep
Chop chop.
and we can keep it moving. But no, like yeah. I'm very interested to see what Drake comes with on on this album, especially with him saying, "Yo, I'm going back to melodic Drake. I'm going back to that guy because that guy is the guy that I used to always say to people. Drake is one of the dopest songwriters out. Drake is one of the dopest songwriters out right now,
Yeah, because we
and
having had a conversation about you telling me like, yo, like, because when I think when you were mentioning his great albums, you're saying So Far Gone when he was in that pocket, that was just he was untouchable. Like he just kind of was just
mhm,
it was the perfect mesh of melodic but still rapping over slower tempo beats
yeah,
and then some high tempo ones, but still it was just like So Far Gone to me is still one of the three or four best projects he's ever put out.
yeah, and
And that's the
Take
classic.
Care is my favorite Drake album.
I got nothing was
Um,
the same. Nothing was the same as my personal one. That's the
oh
one.
no, yeah, nothing was the same as number two for me. It's like it's Take Care, nothing was the same, and because everybody be trying to say to me, you can't really say So Far Gone because it was a mixtape, Jamil. Like yo, like we be counting mixtapes all day
Yeah,
long,
for
bro.
sure.
So if
Come
we
on now.
count
Yeah.
mixtapes, then it's So Far Gone, Take Care, and nothing was the same in that order. But yeah, I want for Drake to solidify his place as one of the best songwriters in hip hop. Because it's a difference between being an incredible MC and being an amazing songwriter. Being somebody who knows how to craft songs, who knows the science
He's a scientist.
of what a good song is supposed to sound like. And Drake has mastered that science.
Yeah.
He literally has mastered that science. And so hopefully with this album on October the 6th, we get that.
And that's why
Like,
he's judged differently. Cause like everybody says, "Oh, I want a full rap out." That's not who Drake is. Drake is like, I'm gonna give you songs that you can play for years. Because
mm-hmm,
a lot of the songs people love are R&B tracks, like the
yep,
Marvin's Room. Like people, like when people say like, "Don't drink and drive" because you end up at your ex's house. They're not lying about that because
that's it.
you play a certain Drake song on the wrong night and you like you put in a
And then
predicament.
and then next thing you know, you not drunk texting that ex girlfriend. You're a Drake texting that ex girlfriend.
Yeah.
I just miss you. I just love. I'm just saying you can do better.
I'm just
That's me.
saying.
That's me. It's like,
But the last thing I'll ask you about this because I heard Joe Budden saying he thinks this album is an important album for Drake because there's been recent criticism over his recent work. Like, do you think this is an important album like for Drake legacy wise? Because you said you want to see him solidify his songwriting status and kind of really kind of put himself in that upper tier because we know he's obviously goated, but we kind of want to see him in that upper tier of just songwriting ability.
Yeah. Um, Scorpion had great moments. Scorpion had great moments, but it wasn't a great album. And um, and I really feel like I
But
feel like a lot.
That Pusha T disc changed a lot of that album. I think
Yeah, it
he had to
did.
rework a lot of that.
It absolutely did. I feel like Drake has many. I feel like Drake has many albums that have great moments, but I don't feel like Drake has a. I don't feel like Drake has an album that you can quintessentially say almost every song on the album or every song on the album hits. Um, I thought he was gonna like, bro. Like I thought he was gonna do it with Certified Lover Boy, because from the moment that Champagne Poetry starts off,
I love that's a
I was
classic.
like, oh, this is. I was like, this is it. Like
Champagne Poetry
we
is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal
we
song.
finna get it, and then it was like it was great moments, but the album was like, if I'm doing a 5 mic review, I'm giving Certified Lover Boy 3.5 mics. Like it was decent, but like for me, the only two albums that you can kind of say Drake has Drake has a classic album. Because I think this is a conversation that you and I have had, and I've had this conversation with other people as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. We talk about this a lot.
The the two albums that I can say could be certified classics would be nothing is the same,
Yeah,
and nothing is the same and take care. Um, because and we this is always gonna be the thing. This is always gonna be the thing with Drake. Drake's gonna always be attached to J. Cole. Drake's gonna always be attached to Kendrick.
yeah. Inevitably,
Kendrick has Kendrick legitimately has three solid classic albums.
yeah.
Section 80,
Good Kid,
Good
Mad
Kid,
City,
Mad City, and To
Butterfly.
Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah,
And honestly, a possible fourth with Damn.
that's what I think too.
Um,
Yeah, I think yeah.
J. Cole has two solid classic albums in
Forest
Forest
Hills
Hills,
Drive.
Forest Hills Drive, and Born Center. And a possible third with KOD.
Yeah, KOD is really good, bro. KOD is
Like every Drake album, you're gonna say it's a possible classic. Drake doesn't have a definitive Drake don't have a definitive classic album yet. And people get upset with me when I say Drake don't have a definitive classic album yet. Drake don't have a definitive classic album yet. Drake got Drake got songs that you could take from all of his albums and throw them on as one album, and that would be the definitive classic album. I really want I want for this new album to be the album where I'd be like, okay, Drake got a classic album. Drake got like this it. Like Sun can stop right now. Like,
October 6th, we're gonna find out. I know it's
bro.
gonna be a lot of hype. It's definitely gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
hype. Yeah. And now get into our last review with Brothers Wish Me Well. And Also Glory Glory on these two new tracks dropped last Tuesday. Fonte and Big Boo go back and forth over our producer Dennis Puma Cook's smooth instrumental. And then Glory Glory offers a similar vibe with the two trading bars over a minimalist beat hooked up by Conductor Williams. And this was like so refreshing to hear them back again because like I mean these little brothers it's just one of the best hip hop duos we've ever had. Fonte is just
Mhm.
an incredible MC. He's somebody who like I would love for him to do a master class on song on just lyricism and songwriting because I think he really knows the techniques of it so well and has it mastered. But what did you think about these two new tracks and just your overall thoughts on it?
Glory Glory is one of the best tracks that you will ever hear from Lil Brother. Like the simplicity of the beat from Governor from Conductor. The simplicity of the beat from Conductor
Conductor, we
is
have a problem.
is amazing. Like it's amazing because I was waiting for the drum track to come through, and then I was like, oh, Conductor gave them a real Griselda beat. Like
Man,
he gave them a beat that he would give Rome Streets or West Side Gun. Like he gave them one of them one of the beats he would give Jay Worthy. Like here you go,
yeah.
do something with that. And listen, it was the perfect beat for Big Pooh to showcase how dope of an MC he is. And then Fonte was just Fon, Fonte is one of the best MCs to ever come out of the South, but nobody will ever say it because he don't rap like he from the South, and it's a shame because like Fonte will rap circles around. Name any one of your favorite MCs from the South. Fonte will rap circles around your favorite MC from the South.
Oh yeah.
Hands
Without a
down.
doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Glory is my jam. Like I go back to that. I go back to that as much and as often as I possibly can, and it's the perfect appetizer to give people who are going to be in Durham this weekend for the Made in Durham block party that they're doing,
Mm.
to celebrate 20 years of being 20 years of being a group. Like the listening, their very first album
Oh my
came out
goodness.
in 2003. Like I know that's like I know that's very hard for people to believe, but they've literally been doing this for 20 years. And they've been consistently doing this either as a group or as solo artists for 20 years.
Yeah.
Um and you know, um knowing the story of why they're now a duo, I still give as much props to Knife Wonder being an integral part of the group in the early process with the first two albums. Um, because you don't know Little Brother without it being Fonte, Rapper Big Pooh, and Knife Wonder. But
Yeah.
Fonte and Pooh still carry on the Little Brother name, and they carry it on with pride. And um hopefully, I mean, it's a wish, and I probably might not get this wish, but hopefully they give us a set at this block party, and it's the three of them. Like
Man,
I just
that would be
I
impeccable.
want that in life. Like I want that in life. Um,
Absolutely.
hopefully I get my wish.
Yeah,
So
that would be an amazing one. That would be an amazing moment. Definitely.
yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our Father's Day at Kirk Franklin story review.